Hi, everybody.
Hello and welcome to the Bourbon Bear. And as the Bears head into a Week 5 bye, we stand at 2-2. And after a rough 0-2 start, it almost feels like we're 4-0. How are you feeling right now, Bondo?
Hey, two wins in 2 weeks is fantastic. We needed it. Well, I still think we should have won the Minnesota game.
Shut up.
I think Williams is still Williams. He's learning every time. Disappointing in some of the moves he makes. The offensive line I think is adequate, a little better than adequate. The wide receivers are playing great. The tight end Loveland was out. Komet dropped a few balls.
Yeah, he had a bad game.
He had a really bad game.
game.
But defensively, they came up when they needed to. We need to get healthy, and I think this week with the bye, they're going to get healthier for Washington. I'm hoping Jalen Daniels doesn't
come back for Week 5. Yeah, we'll see.
But he's supposed to.
They look bad without him, so.
No, they look horrible without him. But you look at my picks last week, 3-1. I know that's what you all want to know. I'm not just a pretty face. I'm here to.
Well, we'll stay on the Bears for a second before we get to the bets. So coming into the bye, I think you're right. They got to get healthy, which is actually I hated a Week 5 bye at the beginning, but now I'm like, this is the perfect time for the Bears. You're probably going to get Gordon back. You'll get Edwards back. Secondary to your point.
We'll have Gordon back?
Oh yeah, I think Kyle Gordon will be back.
Okay, I hope you.
I like that. But
Groins could hurt.
Byard's been playing fantastic. Brisker looks okay, like coming back off that concussion that ended the season.
Not Prisker, Brister.
Brisker.
No, you're thinking of
Brisker.
You're thinking of the governor.
Pritzker is the governor. Brisker is the safety.
Brisker,
there we go.
Now you got it.
I said it right the first time. But Stevenson, though, in the absence of Jalen Johnson, has been playing fantastic.
He was sitting in the doghouse after Washington last year, and he's really.
Well, Week 1 and 2, he was in the doghouse, but now stepping up as like the primary corner.
Well, I agree, and he's a talented player, and I like him. He's not the smartest guy in the world, but he can play, and I think if we can get these guys back from injury and that confidence that they're getting. Confidence is so important in football. If you look at their schedule, it doesn't look that bad in the next few games. So.
Well, and I'm thinking, too, Darnell Wright, hopefully he'll be back after the break. I mean, the elbow injury doesn't look good. Braxton Jones getting pulled, and then you had a combination of Ozzie Trapillo, and I'm blanking on the name of the other guy right now. Do you know the name?
Can't remember.
That's going to piss me off now.
Well,
but they came in and played admirably against, Crosby had one of the greatest interceptions I've seen in that Raiders game. Just a batted ball to himself and took it and ran.
Yeah, but then he knocked, 2 other balls down. The guy's incredible. He's so smart, and it's so simple. You just read the quarterback's eyes, and, if you can't get the rush, and he's a true.
He's the number one edge, I think, in the league right now. I don't think anyone's better than him, especially when the defense he's on doesn't really have anything else helping him. So,
Micah
Parsons.
Parsons was, he doesn't play all the time. That was my loss last week with the Green Bay. I thought they would destroy Dallas, but there you go. Dallas didn't look as bad as people thought, and
we gave him a whooping.
And we gave him a whooping. Is right.
The one thing I want to bring up though on that note, obviously there were some injuries on the defensive line, and Andrew Billings made one great play to get that fumble on Genty.
Yes.
But outside of that, Genty destroyed. This was his coming out party. It was literally against the Bears, which I was afraid was going to happen because our run D is just terrible right now.
It's terrible. The linebackers seem nowhere to be found.
Well, Tremaine Edmonds had those 2 interceptions against Dallas, so he looks okay, but again, against the run, you're right. They're just nowhere to be found.
Going into the year, I thought that was their strength. I mean, to be honest with you, I think Allen is doing a great job for what he has. I think that we're also offensively, we're getting better every week.
I agree with that.
Swift, had a decent game.
He's still delivering.
He's not the guy we want.
Manungai, I think, had 4 carries for 18 yards. I think you got to give him the rock more. Swift, I think, averaged about 3 yards a carry. Manungai was over 4. I think eventually you got to start doing a split backfield with them.
Yeah, good point. He's a rookie, and you got to get him into the system a little more. But, I believe the play calling, we haven't seen the best of the play calling yet. he's still the confidence of Williams is still a little shaky.
The one play call I do want to call out, though, Eberflus tried to do the quarterback fall throw again, and it just botched it. It was bad. The flea flicker and the fake flea flicker against Dallas when Luther Burden caught the actual flea flicker for that deep shot.
Yeah, right.
Bad pass by Swift, but that was incredible. I think there's a lot in the bag, so I agree with you there.
No, and like I said, Kmet had blocking wise, he was great, but he dropped a few balls. He made a couple of nice catches. Then those false starts were a joke. That's coaching right there.
Well, I think that takes time with the system. It's a new system. It's a lot of young players in that line.
Kmet's a veteran. He should be able to figure that out.
I agree with that. But before I get to wide receivers, the one thing I want to say about the offensive line, the trade for Jonah Jackson has not panned out. Tooney's trade looks fantastic. If you look at his stats, he's been incredible. That might have been the best signing Pace has ever had.
Yeah, it might be in a long time. Yeah, Tooney is a true veteran. He's really, really good in the locker room. Everybody's talking about how he takes charge, and he's definitely a leader. I mean, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings. He had with Kansas City and New England, and hopefully get one with the Bears. And
then the other person I want to call out is Drew Dahlman at center. That's actually been panning out pretty well. He was
an established player.
Yeah. I mean, he was the best available center in the free agent market, but I think he's good. But turning it to wide receivers, Rome Odunze has had a touchdown in every game this year. He's second in the league.
If you look at the first Bourbon Bear of the year, we said he was going to have a breakout year.
Yep, it's looking like it.
Now, DJ Moore, it seems like he's kind of invisible lately, but I mean, he's still top solid. And
well, there's a lot of calls for trading DJ Moore for like a 4th-round pick, and I don't think that's worth it.
No, he's not worth a 4th-round pick.
That's what I'm saying, too. Keep all the weapons you have. Let Caleb have this year of just success. Next year, if it doesn't really pan out with him and he wants to leave, let him walk.
Well, he's got another year. He's not getting...
he's signed until 2029.
Right, but he's got, I don't think it's guaranteed, though.
A lot of it is still. Tremaine Edmonds is the only contract we can really get out of next year, which I think is probably going to happen. But he's doing pretty well, so we'll see how it goes. But that's all I really had about the Bears game last week. Huge win. I think it's Blackman who had the blocked field goal to win the game. Incredible. If you read the stories behind it, the Bears long snapper had told him the signs that he had done every snap.
No way.
Yeah. Read the stories. Incredible. So he would slightly move the ball before he was going to snap it, and he timed it perfect. And the Bears long snapper is the one who saw it on the film and in the game, and that's how he wound up with that block kick.
Where did you hear that?
It's a big story. You can go look it up, but incredible special teams play right there. Huge win again. 1-3 versus 2-2 is such a difference. So thank God. I mean,
well, you got Washington coming up next week. We had the bye this week, and then after that, I think we play New Orleans, if I remember right.
We get a little lull, which is nice.
Which is really nice. And, Washington without, we'll see what happens with the quarterback. But New Orleans, between Carolina and New Orleans, I don't think they have much this year. Although the coach is...
New Orleans did give the Bills a little bit of the game, but then they fell apart at the end.
With the...
Spencer Rattler.
Well, Spencer... I'm talking about the best football player in the league. I mean, he came through in the 4th quarter. And
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen was phenomenal there, that last drive, and then they wound up winning by 10.
But if you look at the schedule, and I think we play the Ravens, by then I think Lamar will be back, but Joe Burrow will be out, so that was kind of a game I was chalking up as a loss, but now it's probably going to be a win based on what's going on. But I predicted the Bears at 10-7. So before we get to your bets, we'll do that next. What do you think the Bears' outlook is on the season now?
Well, I'm going to stick by my guns. I said they're going to be over 8.5, and
So 9 wins.
9 wins. I mean, I said 9.
The half might be a kicker now because Dallas tied Green Bay, which we haven't seen a tie in a little bit. I feel like, but it's possible.
Well, that Green Bay game, I would have bet the ranch on that one. But then Dallas, he's talented.
Dak?
Dak Prescott is a talent. And
without CeeDee Lamb, too. George Pickens kind of took over the game.
I got him in my fantasy, and he had a ton of points last week. But, Genty came through with the Bears got lucky. But
that'll get a little... But no, that was actually, again, to my point about them knowing that long snapper cadence, I think that's pretty good. I mean, just teamwork right there, in my opinion. A lot of block kicks in the NFL, though. That's also something that's going to keep people's eyes out right now.
It's amazing.
Four blocked in week 3 at the noon slate. That's crazy to me.
Well, but these kickers kick it right to the goal line now. It's amazing how they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the old days, they just banged it through the end zone and get the ball in the 20, and now it's, the 35, I believe?
Yeah, you get the ball at 35 if you...
It's such a... they don't want guys to get hurt, but guys aren't getting hurt on kickoffs because they don't have that running start like they did.
Yeah.
I'm encouraged. I still, went to the Cub game today, and that was a disaster, but I think the Cubs will win tomorrow. That's not one of my picks, but I'm going to pull for
We
them.
need a win tomorrow.
Yeah, we need a win because, if not, then it's all going to be focused on the Bears.
But last point, and we'll get to the bets. I'm sorry, multiple last points here. Caleb Williams, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, averaging about 230 a game right now. What do you think the outlook for his development is going to be? Because it looks like it's starting to show flashes, but there's also some bad throws, some missed throws. It's kind of like you can't even get a good grade on him right now.
No, but he's learning every week. And I think Johnson's making some simple game plans, and that's why I don't think we've seen his talent yet for play calling. I feel pretty good. Last week it was going, get Badgett in, no, it's
that died down. After Dallas, that died down.
Yeah, well, it has, but they were still, even last week when they were losing, it was there's talk, but no, I believe him. You got to give him. He's our guy this year. All right, we're not, unless he gets hurt.
If I had to grade him, though, I'm going to go B- thus far through 4 games, just because week 1, I think the game kind of was on him in the offense.
Oh, totally.
Week 2 was you got the crap kicked out of you, so it's kind of garbage time points. Right. And then week 3, obviously, I'd give him an A+ on that game.
Well, yeah, definitely an A. But last week I don't give him I think he gets a C+, maybe a B-.
That's where I'm kind of leaning, like overall through 4 games,
yeah.
B-.
Yeah, but 2-2 is again. I think we should be 3-1.
Well, these are games when you were the Bears with Nagy or Eberflus. Those are games you lose, and we won it. So you got to give a little shout out there.
We learned from our mistakes, and Eberflus looked,
Eberflus, he had never idea what to do.
He looked good against Green Bay, though. I'll tell you that.
Not really. They gave 40 points.
Yeah, but he held them in there. I mean,
I don't know about that. I'm not giving Eberflus any credit.
Well, they stopped them in the second half. I mean, it's the second quarter, which was huge, and then they scored. But I'm going to come in with my bets because I know everybody's here for that. I mean, it's. And by the way, next week I'm going to be broadcasting from the mailbox at Rolling Green Country Club with Brett Matthews and Andy, so I'll do some remote. I know you're all asking about my remote abilities and predictions, but we got 5 picks for us this week. It's Philly again over Denver -3.5. I think Denver's improved, but I still think Philly's the best team in the NFL. Here's an interesting game. New York Giants were favored by 2 points over New Orleans, and now they're getting 1.5. Spencer Rattler, I think he's a work in progress still, and I'm going with the Giants. Here's a game I don't understand, and maybe Daniels will be back, but the Rams, LA Chargers, -2.5 over Washington. Even if Daniels is back, I think the Chargers are pissed from last week.
Yeah, they need a comeback game.
Here's an interesting thing. I don't think Kansas City is as good as people think they are, especially on the defensive side. We're going with Jacksonville +4. And here's a game I'm throwing in, but I'm not 100% confident in it. But I like Tampa Bay +3.5 over Seattle.
I mean, Tampa Bay, they've been the comeback kids, they're fighters. They had a chance in that Philly game, so
they should have won that game. But I think Philly is still the best team in the NFL.
The Bills might be, but that's all the time we have today for the Bourbon Bear. Bear down, bye week. No stress this week. Shout out to Colin Carney, bachelor party. Let's have some fun.
Keep your pants on, Colin. We'll talk later.